Okay, so E3 is the world's largest gaming convention, and at E3, Nintendo nearly always release a Nintendo Direct that is full of announcements. Now, seeing that E3 this year is said to be a digital event, it's not confirmed that Nintendo will release a Direct as part of the E3 digital event, or if they'll just release a Direct at around the same time that E3 occurs. Either way, I'm nearly certain that there will be a Direct this year at around the time of E3, and so in this video, I'm going to be talking about my hopes and predictions for a Nintendo Direct at E3 this year. And before that said, let's start the video. Alright, so I'm going to talk about my predictions for what will be announced in a Nintendo Direct, whether or not if this Direct is part of E3's digital presentation, or if it's just a regular Nintendo Direct that's released on YouTube. Then after I'm done talking about my predictions, I'll talk about my hopes for this Nintendo Direct. In the most recent Nintendo Direct that happened around 5 weeks ago,
AGA Onuma,
who works on the Legend of Zelda franchise as a producer, announced that information on the sequel to Breath of the Wild is planned for later this year. So I reckon that in Nintendo's E3 Direct that we'll see a 2 to 3 minute long trailer for the Breath of the Wild sequel. And on top of that, a release date will also be announced, with that release date being at the end of 2022. A new Pikmin game was oddly confirmed on Twitter the other day, but instead of this new Pikmin game being the long-awaited Pikmin 4, it's going to be a Pikmin augmented reality game that is being developed by Niantic, who are the people behind a small little game known as Pokemon Go. Even though no one really gives a shit about this game, we're definitely going to get more information on it in the next Direct, as we essentially know nothing about this game, other than the fact that it's set to release later this year. So seeing as this game is going to release within the next 9 months, and it was confirmed that we're going to get information on this game within the next few months, what better place to put some information on this extremely exciting game that doesn't even have a fucking title yet than in a Direct. In the last video I made on this channel, I spoke about why I think Mario Kart 9 will release in 2021. And so if you want to watch that full video, you can click on the little icon card in the top right corner of the screen. But anyways, an article was released that talked about how Nintendo aimed to sell 250 million games within the 2021/2022 financial year. So if Nintendo do want to reach that goal, they're going to need to release some heavy-hitting titles. And what's a better heavy-hitting title than a new Mario Kart game? We've essentially been playing the same mainline Mario Kart game for 7 years. And also, seeing as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold so well, it just makes sense for Nintendo to announce a new Mario Kart game in the next Direct. I think Mario Kart 9's announcement will come with a lengthy 5 or so minute long trailer that's full of information on the game, and that along with that, a release date will be given to the game for sometime in early December, so that it can get as many sales as possible, as people tend to buy lots of games at around Christmas time. To the surprise of literally everyone, Splatoon 3 is getting a sequel on the Nintendo Switch in 2022. Now, the trailer for Splatoon 3 was actually pretty long, and lightly touched on many different parts of the game. And so in Nintendo's E3 Direct, I think this game will get a new trailer that is much more detailed, and on top of that, we'll get a more precise release date. And my final prediction of what is going to be announced in the E3 Direct is a Nintendo Switch Pro. There have been so many leaks that have all pointed towards a late 2021 release date, and usually I don't believe leaks at all, but when there are so many of them and they're all saying the exact same thing, it's kinda hard to not believe them. Now, if these leaks are true, then we'll probably get a reveal trailer for the Switch Pro pretty soon, talking about what the system's actual name is and what it simply is, similar to the Nintendo Switch Lite reveal trailer. Now that I've spoken about my predictions for Nintendo's E3 Direct, I'm going to be speaking about my hopes for Nintendo's E3 Direct. I'm a huge fan of the Mario Kart series, and so I'd love to get just some sort of sneak peek or even just a frickin' title for the next core Mario Kart game, as we've been playing Mario Kart 8 for fucking 7 years. So Nintendo, please just give us anything that has to do with the next mainline Mario Kart game. Metroid Prime 4 was revealed way back in June of 2017 at E3. Now, I've never actually played any of the Metroid games, and I've wanted to for quite a while, as the series just seems really fun. So when Metroid Prime 4 was said to be coming to the Switch, I was really hyped. But this game has been stuck in development hell for quite a while. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that the game is being delayed, as a delayed game is eventually a good game, whereas a rushed game just isn't. I mean, just look at Cyberpunk 2077, for example. It was a shitfest. But if Nintendo could maybe just give another update on the game's development, that'd be awesome. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time, and so I'm really looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. And yes, I'm aware that I said earlier in the video that Breath of the Wild 2 information is confirmed for later this year. Now, I'm hoping that the information is about how Breath of the Wild 2 is actually different to the first Breath of the Wild, and also some of the new features that will be in Breath of the Wild sequel. And the final thing that I want announced in the E3 Nintendo Direct is a Wii Party trequel. I know this is kinda weird and out of the blue, but the Wii Party series is just fucking awesome and deserves more recognition. So I'd love for the Wii Party series to get a game on the Switch. Also, seeing as the Mario Party series is awful at the moment, a Wii Party game would be perfect for the Switch. But I just don't know what it would be called, as Switch Party doesn't sound too good. But that's for Nintendo to figure out. And with all that said, it's the end of the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more Nintendo content, and yeah, thanks for watching.